the video. I was a little short on time the last week and today as well, so I decided still to talk about what I wanted to talk. Um, just a little shorter than usual, so I apologize. Next week I will be doing that live again. So, yeah, I wanted to talk about the heart chakra, which is associated with the element of air, and I also wanted to introduce one herb for it. So, yeah, I just begin and read off my notes. You can always leave me your comments. Write a little something if you have questions. You can also always write me an email. It's in my um, channel description. So if you have any questions, I also start selling herbs now. So if anyone is interested in that one, I'm more than happy to help. So, and also incense mixes. So I will start shortly also making you tinctures, medicine tinctures, or let me say it, herbal supplement tinctures, not medicine. And but they will take about 4 to 6 weeks because they need to sit long, as I mentioned that before in my other shows. So, okay, but let's do the heart chakra. Let's begin with that. So, like I usually talk about the chakras that I feel that are more important for the time that is. So that's why I'm talking about them back and forth and not just like starting with the root and going up. So I feel this time it's that what we all kind of working on is the heart chakra right now. We all would know where the heart chakra sits. Right here, of course. Even the heart is on the left side. Well, the camera shows it the opposite, but you know what I mean. So the assigned color to the chakra is green, and it's exactly in the middle of all of the other 7 chakras as well. So the heart chakra is literally between, in the middle between the body and the soul, right? Um, so the associated energy, the body is that carries the memory and feelings of all lives, even though the incarnated lives. And yeah, like I said, the element of the heart chakra is the air. So the topics of the heart chakra is the love, the trust, pain, sadness, as we know, the forgiveness, and I believe the karma as well. Most of these days we get caught up very much with the karma itself. We always think if something bad has happened that we're punished for something, yet I feel it's just the opportunity for us to release it. And I strongly believe that we can relieve, or release, not relieve, release karmas. And the point of it, or the main point I believe, is the forgiveness, to forgive ourselves. So don't get caught up in, oh, I did this one, in the guilt thing. Like Sue had the other day a very nice daily reading about a frequency reading about the guilt. So that I like very much. It matches to the heart chakra I'm talking about. So yeah, don't see the guilt as a, yeah, or feel it as a punishment, right? Don't give into it. Like, see it as a, okay, I learned my lesson. I really fucked that up. Sorry, I'm the professional chakra and herbalist. Sorry, excuse my language, but yeah, I think we should take it as a, okay, I learned it and I'm not gonna do that again. And then we need to learn to forgive and to release of the mistakes we made. And we all did mistakes. We all screwed up at one point in our life. I don't think there's anyone that never did anything, you know, like no one is just pure. That's what I'm saying. So, so the qualities of the heart chakra is it's the seed of the universal love, and this is what we're experiencing right now, right? Um, we're meeting people that are with us on one level that experience the same, and I think this is all happening for a reason. It's also devotion to ourselves. That's what I believe. And it's the healing of relationship. It's our inner healing. It's a compassion, the sensibility, right? Um, I mean, we all have experienced something in our life that hurt us so much, or worst case, you experienced it so many times that at one point you just don't want to open your heart anymore. You just keep it all inside and just keep it there. You know, don't open up to anyone anymore because you're afraid to get hurt again. And I do understand this. I've been there too. But trust me if I say it's much nicer if you open up again. Um, because other than that, you miss the positive part in life. You miss the love, you know, you miss the healing. You can never heal if you don't open up. And also be aware that if you open your heart chakra, which a lot of people experience right now, all of a sudden you get hit with feelings, with memories, past pain that you thought you've dealt with. It's all coming back. It's like, hey, remember me? I'm your guilt. I'm that bad experience you had. So once you're able to grab it, grab it, pull it out, and send it away. I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, but it is doable. It really is, and I'm still working on that myself every day. Every day something pops up, especially in this time right now, where I think, like, what the hell? I dealt with that already. Why is that still here? Why is that still hurting? So yeah, so I release here and there a little bit, right? I mean, if you were always clogged up and you never open to release, um, the first few days or weeks even, there will be like, wow, right? So I'm not talking it all nice, but it's a process of healing. So, and we know even if we cut ourselves, the wound heals, and but it still hurts, and at one point it starts itching. You know what I mean? It's maybe a stupid example, but that's what I could come up with now. So it hurts, but it will heal. So yeah, like I just mentioned, those are the blockages, right? And they will blockage mostly everything in your life, right? Because you cannot enjoy anything. You can't enjoy love. You can't enjoy happiness. You can't enjoy anything that could make you happy, or yeah, you cannot forgive yourself or you cannot forgive others, and forgiveness is very important. So and I did that too in many situations of my life, where certain people said, how can you forgive that person? Yeah, I can, because you know why? Because it brings me peace. If I walk around with hate in my heart or with that pain in my heart, it will not do me any good. And the other person doesn't give a shit, right? They just live their life. So that's why it's important. See it as important for yourself. Get away from the thought, well, why would I forgive him? That makes him feel better. No, 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 no. It's about you. It will make you feel better. Okay? Because hate, fear, it will all nag on you. It will stop you from moving forward. So, so yeah, that's how I mentioned now the blockages, how it, um, how you experience blockages and how you experience it when your heart is open, right? So, okay, what else? Yeah, um, sorry, I'm just going through my notes here. What I find is important that I wrote down, and I'm just trying to read my own writing again, as always. Um, I'm just reading that off here, okay? Through the heart chakra, we recognize the true nature of both duality and love. Here at heart is the pure universal love of our soul at home, which can accept all people and events with non judgmental acceptance. That's what I just mentioned mostly, right? In the light of this love, we feel our innermost truth and thus learn to discern without condemning. Um, yeah, I think I just covered that mostly right now, right? Um, so the heart chakra is connected to the heart and lungs, and in the polar nature of these organs, we can see a strong symbolic power of them, right? Because um, we need our heart to beat to do the job, and we need the lungs to breathe the air, right? So it's very important to have a working heart chakra because you connect with it to the universal love, not just the people around us, the universal love, right? So, which is very important. Um, so, the strong connection of the heart chakra, um, hence also uh, the ability to touch, to hug, and to receive. So, yeah, that's another thing, right? We all need a hug here and there. We all need a little loving. I do, for sure. And last night I had one of these I want to hug moments, but I was able to hug my teddy bear. And it's not even my teddy bear, it's my granddaughter's teddy bear. So, but again, if your heart chakra is closed, you don't even want to get close to anyone. It's like, don't touch me, don't talk to me, don't look at me. And then you miss out on all the nice things, the receiving, the giving. So, also, like on a physical point of view, um, it's connected, like I said, the heart and lung, of course. Then it's your breast, your thorax, your spine, your immune system, the complete circuit, forearms, palms. Um, so that makes sense, right? Like we all know, for example, just an example, um, you know, when you get scared by something, startled by something, then and you stop breathing for a second. So now imagine, if you're carrying constantly fear and anger with you, it will automatically get to your breathing system, I would say. Take asthma, for example. How many people do have asthma just because they're stressed out or have other issues, around the heart? I mean, it's also common that if you have a real heart problem, you do have breathing problems. I'm talking from a physical point of view. It's just a fact. So if you're short of breath and have heart pain, then go see a doctor, right? That is not good. Um, I'm talking from a physical point of view. Like if you other than that, if you're good, so just be aware of your body, and also immune system, right? Makes sense too. Like if you're drained, if you're stressed, if you're constantly scared, if you're constantly taking all those worries inside you, it will drain your immune system because your immune system keeps fighting because the heart is pumping, right? The heart chakra is right there. And at one point, your immune system will be like, could you like give me a break here? And then we'll knock you out. Getting a cold or whatever, just be tired and weak. It's just like your body is telling you to calm down, take a break, right? So, um, yeah, and of course to work on the heart chakra, like with any other chakra, you can do the yoga. As everyone knows, I don't do yoga because I'm afraid I break a leg. No, I'm just kidding. I just don't know yoga. Like, I know yoga, but I don't know the position, so I'm not telling you what position to do because I could call it the mental dog and it would be like not true. So, um, yeah, and I don't have the money to go to a yoga studio, so other than that, I would. And I don't like to do things like that by myself with a video because I'm for sure will crack a bone in my back or something. I'm just famous for that. I tried that before with other exercise videos, and yeah, didn't work for me too well. So, and as I said, it's connected to the element of air, right? So, the element of air is, in witchcraft, it's connected to all new beginnings to the east. Um, Sorry. That is even weirder to talk to myself than having not anyone in a chat room. That is boring. I'm not gonna do that again. But now I blabbered already 20 minutes and I'm not gonna stop now. But I miss my people in the chat. So I have to say that. I really do. But I'm just so very tired and I know I'm not gonna get off before 2 hours because I wanna chat with everyone. But I do miss it, honestly. So as I said, the element air is assigned to the east, the morning, to all new beginnings, right? Um, and the air stands for itself and everything that is connected with it. So we can actually see for ourselves what air means if we look at it. um, okay, this is of course like what is she talking about? I can't see air unless there is a cloud or something, and then it's not air anymore. Um, like you can't see your breath unless it's cold out. Pisht, sorry. Um, so then we can see it, you know. We can see the air when there's a storm. We can see the air um, when there are clouds. When it takes our breath away, then we can feel it. So imagine that with your heart chakra, not with your heart. You better feel your heart. um, yeah. So see it as a point from looking at your pain, if you have any in you. I mean, you can't see it, but you can feel it, you know? Because air has a lot of power, as we know. It can cause hurricanes, storms, it can totally destroy, it can, yeah, it can blow leaves, it can blow your roof off. You know, it's very powerful. That's the same as with our heart. It is very, very powerful. It does a lot of work. So, um, what else do I find interesting? So, what? Yeah, I was talking about devotion before, right? I made a little note. Like, the gift of devotion reveals us the air of true freedom. You know, the freedom to think everything, to wander in far offs that have remained useless until that moment. Um, it's a very um, strong element. So it brings us wisdom, right? So I'm just reading a bit of it here. The air teaches us that the power of the spirit can transcend that of our body many times over. The power of the mind is the key to magic. Only if we're able to take advantage of these, we are able to be magical. The rational element, which is air as well, sharpens our mind for law, justice, and morality. Um, so this is literally the power of wisdom and knowledge air, right? Um, so if you want to walk this path in these ways, you must learn to submit to the rules of being. And then this is a gift of devotion. Like I said, the gift of this devotion reveals to us the air of true freedom and the freedom to think of everything, to wander in far offs that have remained useless until then, as I said. That the power of the spirit can exceed of that the power of the spirit can exceed that of our body many times over. So, I think I wrote that crap twice here. I'm so good, you know. I even screw up. I even squirrel off if I do it by myself. Or go figures. I'm so awesome. So the air reveals itself to us every day, everywhere, no matter where we are. It shows itself to us in the form of balmy breezes on warm summer nights and angry storms in the fall, as I said before, windswept hills and high mountaintops. So, and of course, the oxygen that we need to survive. In magic, one unites oneself with the air force spell and ritual on the subject of breath, telepathy, contact with the other world, mental power, inspiration, knowledge, wisdom, and the agility of mind, justice, and concentration. Okay, and this is part 2 because I only have limited time to do that. So here I am again. So people associate the air with fresh, joyful, and airy places. Which is true, right? We really imagine ourselves on a cliff, you know, you feel the breeze. I just love it. Like when I was back in Cornwall, I just love the breeze there from the ocean. And standing on the cliffs up there, it was beautiful. I just love the air. I actually love all the elements. Like the water. I could sit hours at the ocean and feel the wind, right? Same time, I love my fire. Sometimes I have to calm it down a bit, right? And of course, the earth. I can sit hours in the woods and I'm happy as a clam in the water. Um, yeah, so I hope that makes a little sense. So just see the air that carries us, right? Um, like, how can I explain that? Yeah, just let your worries get swapped up by the air, you know? I mean, why not using it for advantage and bring in a little storm to clear it out because storms clear the air, right? As we know. So, and then, you know, enjoy the breathe after, the calmness. Um, so then I have always my herb, right, to it. Today it's just gonna be the rose. For the heart chakra, you can use jasmine or rose. And I don't know too much about jasmine, except that I put jasmine in my black tea because I like it. So I'm not gonna talk about it really because I said I only like to talk about herbs that I really used myself, right, and practice with. So yeah, and I stick to my word, so I'm not just pretending something. So I think I talked about the rose before too, but since this is a heart chakra, I'm gonna bring it up again. Um, it's actually hardly known that the rose is a medical plant as well. We all know it as a good smell in soaps and shampoos, or as an um, aroma supplement in teas, right? As we think, but we do. But the Chinese actually don't use the rose petal in teas just for the good taste of it. It has a purpose. And the rose is actually coming from the Orient, and it's not, like I said, it's not only for soaps, perfumes, or whatever. It has a good medical purpose. So and one of the purposes, it's for heart problems, which that's why it works with the heart chakra so well, right? So I'm gonna read a few of those properties. I have to read them. I cannot remember every single one of the herbs, right? You do understand that. So the medical properties, it's yeah, like I said, for mild heart problems. And I'm saying mild because if you have real heart issues, you do need to see a doctor, and I like to repeat that every time, right? Um, like it's for headache, melancholy, Here we go again. If you feel depressed, of course, this comes from the heart chakra too, as well, right? This way, the rose petal can help you opening up a bit to it. It's even for earache, for lung problems, of course, because as we know, it's the air, it's combined with the heart chakra. It's nerve strengthening, um, relieves dizziness, uterine pain, toothache. It's for fainting, liver weakness, constipations. For the women, menopause problems. External for difficult healing wounds. So, and here a little note that I found that I find interesting. In alchemy, the rose was considered the flower of wisdom and the image of the clear mind. So we had that before with the wisdom in the heart chakra. That's why I find that so interesting. I found that note reading, so that isn't from me now. I just translated it. The lightly filled roses with 7 rows of leaves symbolize in the eyes of the alchemist the 7 planets with the corresponding metals and the secret knowledge that is acquired progressively. That is why roses are symbolical, close to esoteric and mystics. Among the Teutons, the rose was dedicated to fertility, the goddess Frigg, who has many parallels to Freya. Well, for me it's Freya, right? Hence the custom of burying the afterbirth under a rose bush. That's what they used to do in the past, in the medieval times. If one had the assumption that the milk was bewitched, this was beaten with a rosehip rod to expel evil. So there you know, blame it on the witch if the milk turns sour, right? So, so I like the alchemy part. I wasn't aware myself. I mean, yes, the alchemy part, but not in terms of with the 7 rose petals. That I didn't know, I have to say. That's why I found that so interesting. I'm still learning too, right? Because and whatever I talk about, it's just my personal opinion and from what I experienced, right, during all my years. So and I just like to share my experiences. So of course, now the favorite, my favorite, the incense. Oh yeah, but before, you can perfectly drink rose hips as a tea. You can mix it with other stuff, black tea, whatever. Even though I wouldn't recommend black tea because that gets your heart going again. Because it got tein, not caffeine, but tein. It's the same, just for tea. So yeah, maybe some other herbal tea that has no tein in it, and to calm you down. But just drink it plain. I like it. It tastes good. Yeah, with lavender, I like it with. What I like to do is rose petals, lavender, then an itsy bitsy amount of lemon verbena, just a slight, not too much, because other than that, the aromas will lift each other up. You know what? Lift each other up. Oh my god, I can't speak English. Is it? It's probably after 9 now. You know what I mean? But then the lemon verbena will overcome the rose. It will get each other's way. You know what I mean? So, the same is if you do the incense, right? If you burn, but you have to dry them before. Don't burn fresh rose leaves. Really, that will be disgusting. Um, yeah, just dry them before, really nice dry, and then just grind them. I mean, rose petals, you don't need a mortar, you just need to use your fingers. So, rose petals much have a very relaxing effect, as I said. and it will help you with your confidence and inner peace. And that is what we have missing if we have blockages in our heart chakra. One of them, right? Um, yeah, it will give you pleasure. It will treat the guilt that I talked about before. It spreads hope, and it for sure will activate your heart chakra. It will activate it. So, and depending on how bad your blockage is or how bad your pain is that you had experienced in the past, traumatic wise, um, of course, just a tea won't do it, or an incense. Of course, then you need help, right? Which you can find in the community with friends, some with family, right? Talking helps, always helps to release. Um, don't be ashamed, if you release. That's another thing, the shame. Um, yeah, we shouldn't feel ashamed for having pain, for being sad. I mean, there was always a reason that caused it. So I'm just saying, like, don't try to deal with it by yourself. Look out for people that you love, that you trust, or you think you can trust. And not that you think you can trust, that sounded wrong. Like, I'm not saying go to the salesperson in the grocery next door because you think he's nice. You know what I mean. Just like find someone that you know who would keep problems with them. You know what I mean? But talking is very important. Really, it helps to release a lot. And depending on the issue, you know, there's always professional help. Is it shaman? Is it energy work? So just make sure you don't get ripped off, right? So, oh yeah, and that guilt thing is also regarding sexual nature, right? The shame, the guilt. And I think Sue mentioned that too on her frequency energy reading. And by that time, I had made my notes already, so that was funny actually. It matched perfectly. I found, yeah. So, yeah, we all get raised, programmed with shame, not to walk around naked. Okay, I mean, not while you go grocery shopping, you really need to get dressed. But other than that, it's always such a big deal, right? Like I, for example, I love skinny dipping. Like, if I get a chance to go skinny dipping, I do not give a shit with who I am. I seriously don't. Because it's the best ever. So, yeah, as I said, the rose smudge, the smoke, will take away your depressive mood. And the message of the spirit of the plant, it will helps you to release love, for the love to give and the love to receive, the inner peace with ourselves. The incense creates a soft and peaceful atmosphere where we can drop ourselves. So, yeah, like I said before, even if you feel you want to talk, even if it's on the phone with a friend, maybe burn some rose petals, and it helps you to release a bit. Um, so even if you're very jealous, like if you're a very jealous person where it gets to a point where it's affecting your life and mostly the life as well of the other person, because that can get very bad, it can help you clear that too. It gives you the possibility to see why you're jealous. And this, again, could be something out of your past, something that you don't even think about, but that triggers you. Because it just blocks your life. You're constantly thinking, where's he, she doing? Where's he or she going? What is she doing? Why is she picking up the phone? Oh my God, you know what I mean? And why why is she shutting off her cell phone? Why can I have a cell phone? Because it's none of your goddamn business. It's privacy. So, but like I said, it gets to a point, you know, where people ruin their life and other people's life. So it will help you to find a balance there. It will help you to get out of it, because it's like a labyrinth, I could say. You know, it's like all like, yeah, like a little labyrinth. You're walking there, you're trying here, but then there's the jealousy. You want to love, but then there's the jealousy. Then you go back a bit. You want to love again, but hey, I can't love because that happened to me. So you're constantly all over there, right? So it will help you to find the middle, to get right out of there. Yeah, it will just help you, helps you to love, to strengthen the self-love, and protects you against the loss of life force from misunderstood love. Like sometimes we think we are being loved or we are in love even though we are not. You know, we wish for something so badly that we slip into relationships that are not good for us, because we think we are being loved. For once we think we are being loved, but what we do is actually going back to the old patterns that we were in times from where we got hurt. And since we know it, and it's not new, we're familiar with it, we go right back just to be loved, which in worst case we are not, right? So so it will also help you with it. And of course, when you do this smudging, you know, the element air will carry it for you. So that was my little short video, or my little two short videos that I tried to combine, or I will try to cut together after. And I know I'm gonna be shut off in very short time again. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any question or recommendation, feel free to leave me a little note here. I would be happy to read something from you. And next time I will do a live stream again. That was boring by myself, but and it doesn't help my squirrel brain either, because I'm still squirreling around. So I might as well, right? Okay, everyone, thank you very much for listening, and I see you around next week. Love you. Bye bye.